Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video and another giveaway. And today we are giving away the Tier 8 Chinese Premium Light Tank, the M41D. All you need to do to enter this giveaway is leave a comment with !duck followed by the gamer tag and the console you play on. The draw will end on Saturday the 23rd of November, at which point I will make a post on my channel letting you know who the lucky winners are. So again, all you need to do to enter this giveaway is leave a comment with !duck followed by your gamer tag and the console you play on. Draw ends 23rd of November. So that's it. I've got 2 replays for you in the tank, so let's get into the replays now and you can see what you could potentially win. Okay, so here we are on replay number 1 on Severogorsk, where it is a tier 9 matchmaking with 2 enemy artilleries in the game, 2 enemy light tanks, and if you want to see the equipment and crew setup I'm running in this tank, you can see that at the bottom of the screen as I speak. So this light tank, I'll be honest, it was given away in a season pass not too long ago, but it's such a fantastic light tank, so if you haven't got it, you know, yeah, this is definitely one worth winning. It's really good. It's basically a Bulldog, the Chinese version of the Bulldog, with 170 alpha, but with a rapid rate of fire and really decent DPM. I think I've got the DPM to about 3,252 with this current setup. And you've got lightning shell velocity, especially on the premium rounds where you've got 1,433 shell velocity. And it makes it a really good tank, actually, a bullying other light tanks because of that great DPM and fantastic shell velocity. You do have 1,257 penetration shell velocity in your standard rounds, with 192 penetration and 227 APCR penetration on the premium. So you can see here, early doors, we've come to this location on Severogorsk, which is never really a great map for a light tank. We don't really have a lot of support this side. As you can see where the spawns, a lot of our team have pushed down the 8-9 line, and we are slightly isolated, but we're in a position where it's difficult for the enemy to push us because they'd have to push all the way over this ridge, and they're distracted by the tank, the heavy tank in front of them. And I'm trying to get as much punishing as quickly as I possibly can, because I am concerned these tanks are going to start to turn around and face us with the lack of support we actually have. Thankfully, that E75 continued in driving and we've allowed us to farm quite a lot of damage. You can see when you can get this gun slinging, you really can start to pick up a bit of damage. We do get shot by that Polish heavy tank, which is not ideal. But our 2 friendly artilleries, kind of alert to the fact that if we lose this flank, they're going to be right in trouble. They are shooting this way, and I want to just keep these tanks spotted so I can try and pick up the assistance. Now I know our friendly artilleries are looking to shoot these tanks, and as you can see there, one does hit that Polish heavy tank, and we're now up to sort of 500 assistance. So as long as I can keep these tanks detected, which shouldn't be too much of a problem, then we should hopefully be able to rack up the assistance. Now, this tank does actually have 9 degrees of gun depression, so it's pretty good for a light tank, and it does allow you to play these ridge lines like this and try and get some shots in where you can. The Polish heavy is trying to look for shots onto us now. I have to keep him spotted because I don't want him to sneak up on us. You can see he does get shot by the artillery there. We go right up to 1,000 assistance now, and I am very much isolated. I do have a tank destroyer on the other side, which is also trying to shoot these targets which are spotted. This enemy medium, you can see he gets caught out of the open, and the rapid reload allows me to get sort of 3 shots in before he's able to get into cover. Pick up another shot of assistance there, putting us on to just over 3,000 combined. So a decent start to this game. Artillery does shut down that enemy medium now. Again, picking up a tiny bit more assistance there. And I'm kind of thinking, have these heavy tanks, they've kind of moved out of vision for me to get shots in. So I'm going to see if I can address that situation and see if I can deal and take out this enemy heavy tank, so we can move on and try and find the next best place to pick up the damage. So we're going to see if we got any rear shots into the back of his turret. We do have a slim possible shot. Get 1 shot in, he loses his spot, but we get a second one in blind, picking up our first kill of the game, putting us under 2,100 damage, 1,400 assistance, and still 10 enemy tanks remaining. Again, pretty much all our team are located on the other side. I was concerned about pushing this way, which I am going to go by myself, just in case there was some tanks up there. So I'm going to try and poke this corner a little bit slowly, but if I can get round through to the base, I can probably spot all the stuff sort of camping in their base, maybe even spot the enemy artillery, and again, you know, pick up some more assistance that way, or try and get a bit more damage. So you can see nothing has really contested me at all. I poke up on top of this ridge just to see if I can get any shots into this light tank while I'm here, while he's in the open to me. We do manage to squeeze one shot in. Hopefully we might be able to land a second one, but he does sort of get back into cover, so we're just going to move on now and see if we can spot for our team with only 7 tanks remaining. And still quite a lot of potential damage in, you know, for us to get. We do spot the enemy artillery. We get one shot in. Second one, we're going to try and go for the drive wheel. I actually do get detected there, so we squeeze one more in, but now we're going to pull back safe. As you can see, we don't want to risk getting snapshot by that enemy artillery. We're going to just be a little bit more patient and lose our spot, and then we can go and see if we can finish him off. And try and pick up another kill on that enemy artillery there. He gets shut down by our friendly artillery, but we do pick up a tiny bit of assistance for it. As we move forward, we find a full health convoy, which is great because that's our spot. So if we get shot, we're going to pick up the assistance. But I'm going to try and focus these tanks, you know, below here, which we do get a shot into this TD whilst he's unspotted. And we're using, you can see this little building to our right hand side just to block line of sight to that convoy so we don't get spotted by the convoy, and essentially free farming this enemy SU here. I'm a little bit concerned he's going to blind fire me. He does, but thankfully he doesn't hit. We set him on fire, he gets shut down by the SU. Put one into the Tiger Shot for good measure, putting us on to about 4,100 damage now. 2,000 assistance, 1 kill, and only 3 tanks remaining. 1 being the light tank on the other side, 1 being the convoy. We actually don't get detected shooting at that convoy there. We were kind of shooting a little bit through the bush. Squeeze another shot in. Hopefully might be able to land another one in, and we do, picking up that kill. And there's only 2 tanks remaining. The light tank, which we're not going to be able to get to, he's already been taken out. And the other enemy artillery, which is full health, and maybe we can get there. I'd love to try and get in a few cheeky more shots here. He's literally just behind a bit of cover for us, but we move over, we get a shot in. Can we get the finish on the enemy artillery? We do, and that brings us then to replay number 1. But we still got one more replay to come, so let's see how we got on with this one, and then we'll move on to that final replay. 3 kills, 5,000 damage, 2,000 assistance, and yes, we do get the ace tanker there, and the high caliber. So let's move on to the final replay, and I'll see you over there. Okay, so here we are for the final replay on Cliff. Again, there is 2 enemy artillery and 2 enemy light tank. This time it is tier 8 matchmaking, so we are top tier. Now, I'm thinking initially I'm going to see if I can make the hill. I'm not going to fully commit into going up to the top of the hill straight away, just in case, you know, it is risky if you get spotted early. You know, you could lose a lot of, you know, your damage or potentially all of your hit points actually climbing the hill. So I've got in my mind that I want to try and get to the top of the hill, but I'm also not going to overextend if I think I'm not going to make it. So as you can see, I move up to this initial situation, see what we spot. Can we get to the hill? So far it's looking so good, and we haven't got spotted at all, and that's allowed us to get free climb on that hill. Because you can see a lot of the tanks actually pushed to the bowl. While we was looking at the light tank, we almost drove off the hill there, which another bit of classic driving there. We do get detected, but there's nothing which has line of sight to us. I think it was this light tank. We're going to see if we can squeeze one into that AMX. Unfortunately, we wasn't able to before we get safe there. So you can see a lot of our team are sort of camping on the 1-2 line, which is pretty standard. But we actually have a fair chunk which has actually moved up and gone to engage in the fight, which is quite nice. And weirdly, a lot of the enemy tanks have pushed straight into the bowl. So initially from the hill location, we're going to see if we can get just some initial damage on these tanks like this, just like this little heavy tank, where we managed to squeeze 2 shells into him, and then we get a 3rd shell when he exposes his turret. So we kind of have that tank pinned there. but he is also playing safe behind that rock, making it difficult for us to get any shots in now. We do have to be careful on the hill because we do get spotted. You know, from this angle, stuff at the base can get shots back into us. So it's something to be bear in mind. You know, although this is a light tank, it doesn't actually have the best concealment, which the Bulldogs generally don't. I think I got the concealment about to 283, which, don't get me wrong, it's decent, you know, but there's a lot of light tanks which have a lot better concealment than this tank does. But what this tank does do is just got a fantastic gun with great DPM, and this is a really good light tank. It's just, you know, as I say, Bulldogs in general are not the most stealthiest of light tanks, and they're quite a chunky little tank as well. So far in this game, it's not looking ideal. You know, we're 4 tanks down already. It's a 10 versus 4. Enemy team have ball control. I'd say they got better control of the map, except from the fact they don't have the hill, which means because we've got the hill, the enemy tanks can't actually push out the bowl without me farming them. So I don't necessarily want to give that up just yet. I do see an enemy Scorpion G, which I would love to try and get some shots in, and some enemy heavy tanks down below. So I'm looking to see if we can get shots into these where we can. You can see I am getting spotted as well, and I'm just not going to get greedy so far. You know, again, we are losing this game, but it's a close game and anything could still happen, so we've got to keep our tank in the game as best we can. We do manage to shut down the enemy Swedish tier 7 tank destroyer there, picking up our first kill, and the game's been going on for a while and we haven't, again, at this stage of the game, really done that much, have we? We've only got a couple more shots of pens. We have picked up a kill, but this is just, you know, it's kind of a game of patience. I get a lot of my damage in this tank at the end because it doesn't take long. You don't need the big opportunities in this tank to rack up that damage. We're slowly getting the shots into the Scorpion G there. Each time we fire though, we are getting detected. Enemy tanks are pushing through towards our base now, so we're going to have to keep that in mind. We don't want to get capped out, but I do have enough mobility to get back for the reset. I need to try and eliminate some tanks over this side if I can. We get 2 shots into that Scorpion G there, and we actually damage his ammo rack. We pull back, we can try to lose our spot. You can see the enemy artillery is looking to shoot us. He's going to have a tough time hitting us when we're behind the lighthouse like this, but it's not impossible to shoot us on the hill if we sort of step out, you know, where we are now essentially, but we're not detected at this stage. We've got a 1-shot heavy tank from earlier, or actually a 2-shot, but we're going to wait and actually try and get that kill. We do confirm in the second kill, bringing the team to a little bit more of an even state in the numbers here. Again, not really done a lot of damage so far, 1,400 damage with the 2 kills, but importantly we do have all of our hit points left at this stage. Tiger Shark comes in to sneak up on us. We get 1 shot into him. Tiger Shark's a very, very good light tank, but with him being half health, at this stage he can't clip us out by himself if he does push us. So we also have fantastic DPM. So, but you know, it is something I've got to be aware of because he can take away my hit points very, very quickly. Get a nice shot into the Scorpion G, putting him onto a 1-shot, bring us to about 2,000 damage now. And with that light tank on the hill, he's going to make our life harder to push over because we're going to get spotted. But we take the gamble on that Scorpion G because I wanted to confirm the kill, and we have now got a dangerous tank out of the game. As you can see, enemy artillery was looking at us, and we have brought this game back to a 5 versus 5, and you know, a very, very even game, very winnable. But still a lot to do here. Was looking to see if we could get some cheeky shots into this light tank, this AMX here, and we decided that we are just going to go in and try and take out this AMX while he's here, and while we've got an opportunity, because the enemy team are in our base. I suspect we're going to lose our artillery and our TD in the base, and you can see how good this tank is at eliminating other light tanks like that. We've done exactly that, and is now in a 3 versus 4, but I think we're going to lose our tanks in our base, as I say. But the enemy team has 2 enemy artilleries, and we're trying to get over there and see if we can spot those artilleries up and take care of business and try and get a bit more damage. We're on 4 kills, so we've got an opportunity for maybe a top gun here. Artillery does get spotted in the middle. We get 2 shots in before he gets in. Well, we get 1 shot in before he gets into cover there. We're looking to try and find more shots as he crosses, but then we spot the other enemy artillery in the open. We are now down to a 2 versus 4 though, but if you remember, the other team were all the way in our base, so they've got a while to come back to us. But one of the other tanks is a Tiger Shark, so it won't take him too long to get back. I'm just going to try and focus out the artillery while I can. Managed to kill one of the artilleries, giving us the 5th kill. Can we try and get the finish on this one? He is a 2-shot or a 1-shot to us. Now he's a definite 1-shot, but he just gets behind the cover. And I've actually kind of thinking, I might actually just try and run now, because I don't want to get stuck in the open trying to shoot this tank whilst the enemy Tiger Shark is looking to kill us. Because there's also an enemy G-Saw on the other team, which I don't know how many hit points, but that tank can kill us very, very quickly. So there you go, there is the enemy Tiger Shark. We're seeing if we can find this little shot in the artillery, but we can't, and we don't want to get stuck where we are. We now are in a 1 versus 3, so we said, you know what we're going to do? We've got lots of time on the clock, we've got 6 minutes 42, we don't need to win this game this second. We're going to try and fall back and get to a different area so they don't know where we are, and see if we can find a different route of engagement. So we're on 4,000 damage now with 5 kills and 3 tanks remaining. One of the tank is an enemy artillery which has no hit points, but we do have the opportunity to win this game and pick up the Radleys here by getting the 8th kill, and it'd be a good way to finish this game. I know how many hit points the Tiger Shark is on, but I don't know how many hit points the enemy G-Saw is. That's I think that's my biggest concern at the moment, is I don't know the hit points of the enemy G-Saw. He's full health, you know, it could be tricky. So I'm thinking, can we come to this location? I might even just take the hill, because the enemy team aren't actually pushing our cap right now. But we do spot 2 of the tanks. There's the 1-shot artillery. We take care of the artillery. We know where the light tank is. We're just going to push up to the top of his hill now, because we're not in danger of getting capped out, because they haven't applied the cap pressure. If they do, it wouldn't actually be that bad, because I know exactly where they are, so I could come and try and light them up. But we spot the enemy G-Saw as we get to the top of the hill, and he's a 1-shot, and we do finish him off, picking up our 7th kill. And now we're in the 1 versus 1 against the enemy light tank, but we have the hit point advantage. And we're just poking, and we spot him there, and we've realised he can't kill us with his 3 shots unless he sets us on fire. So we know we've got the advantage. He's shot all his 3 shots now, so you know, he was going to die, but we got help with the fire as well. Yeah, he didn't really do a lot wrong. He kind of pushed up knowing that he had support from the G-Saw. Unfortunately, the G-Saw I managed to take out, and then I just knew I had the advantage because I had the hit point pull. But that brings us into the replay. We finished that one off with 8 kills, getting the ace tanker, and a really decent game to finish off. But as I say, you know, all we need to do to enter this giveaway is leave a comment with !duck, followed by the gamer tag and console you play on. Draw ends Saturday the 23rd of November. And thanks for your support. As always, happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!